What was the Opera Populaire that we hear about in The Phantom of the Opera? Was it even real? Hi, I'm Jessica, I write Phantom books, and today we're going to talk about one way Andrew Lloyd Webber's Phantom of the Opera diverges from both its source material and history, because the Opera Populaire is not a real thing. In the Lloyd Webber musical, Andre and Firmin are introduced in the Hannibal rehearsal as the new owners of the Opera Populaire. Now, it's unclear if this means the building or the opera company within the building, or I guess both. You see, in Gaston Leroux's The Phantom of the Opera, Moncharmin and Richard, which are the managers' names in the book, are not owners, they are managers. They are the new heads of the National Academy of Music, which is headquartered in the Palais Garnier, the Paris Opera. This building's not called the Opera Populaire, and it's not a building anyone can own, unless you're the country of France. So I guess everyone in France owns it. This is the curtain at the Paris Opera, and here's a close-up on this note here. Commemorating the National Academy of Music was founded in 1669. Nice. By Louis XIV, the Sun King, that's what this is referencing. Louis founded the National Academy of Music, by the way, because he loved ballet and he loved dancing in ballet. And having his mistresses dance in the ballets, too. But the National Academy of Music is a state-run institution and remained that way through many revolutions and remains that way now. The Paris Opera, or the National Opera of France, has had many homes. A lot of them burned down, and it now has two opera houses, this one and the Opera de Bastille, which is so ugly I won't even show it. But the Opera de Paris and the Paris Opera Ballet, those are organizations. They're not the same as this building. But the country of France owns both of them. In the musical, they decided to change the managers to both managers and owners, though the building they own in the stage musical still seems to be the Paris Opera, or at least inspired to look a lot like it. Things are further complicated by the movie. They don't use the Paris Opera as their set. They created a whole other opera house and called it the Opera Populaire. Still inspired by the original, but its own kind of fantastical thing. Because the movie sort of exists in this fantasy timeline where a lot of things don't exist, like the Franco-Prussian War. But the real Paris Opera was never called the Opera Populaire, though in one sense it was. Opera Populaire just means opera of the people, which is certainly fitting for the National Opera of France. This building was commissioned by France's last emperor, Napoleon III, who was deposed before the opera was even finished. There was debate whether or not they should continue finishing this imperial monument, but they did, and the idea became that this is the people's opera. So Opera Populaire works as a title, even though by people they meant extremely rich people, and very snooty ones at that. There were other opera companies in Paris at the time Phantom is set. They were far more modern and innovative as well. As sort of the flagship theater for music and ballet in France, the Paris Opera remained pretty stodgy and traditional. So I hope that helps explain what the Opera Populaire was or wasn't. As always, let me know what Phantom questions you have because I love to answer them.